Good night. Yeah. Okay, we are live. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back once again, your girls, FGI Hashtag ladies. We are back with another beautiful discussion. We are asking each and every one to relax, grab your cup like we do, grab your cup, grab your pen, just relax on the couch. Let's chit chat together. We are here to bring solution to everyday life issues. So have a seat, get some pen, get some little sheet, begin to write down all those important discussion that we are going to discuss today. And more, we are asking each and everyone to be help us put this word out there by clicking the share and connect button. Thank you guys so much. Welcome once again. Welcome. Hi, ladies. How you guys doing today? How the 2 week been for you guys? How you guys been for the past 2 week? Sister Vera, how you been, girl? How you been?
Hello, everyone. I am great. It's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful 2 weeks. All the discussions. I've been making sure I put them to you. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself.
Sister Taiwo, how have you been for the past 2 weeks? How life been with you? How have life been with you, sis, for the past 2 weeks? How have you been?
Thank you. I can complain. I'm grateful to God Almighty for His love and His mercy. I've been good, having fun, trying to hang in there, and just making the most of my life and trying to just be me. So yeah, I've been good. Been good.
Mm, that's a good thing, just being you. That's
Mhm.
really good. For me, the past 2 weeks been very busy, working, doing church, just doing families. It's been a busy 2 weeks, and it's been a very exciting 2 week as well, for me. Preparing to celebrate 1 year anniversary of being a pastor, 1 year of being officially a pastor, 1 year of um running ministry. So it been really busy. And the 2 weeks just preparing that, getting my mind wrapped around those thoughts. Wow, it's almost a year. Been very fascinating for me. So I give God the praise. But not to waste your time, we're gonna jump right into our discussion for today. We're actually gonna open the floor to our sister Vera, who's going to open us the floor today. Sister girl, take the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we welcome all our viewers once again to FGI Couch Talk, a place where we discuss real life situations, where we try to make sure we bring real life situations to discuss and make it very light so people can be entertained, people can be educated, people can learn so much more to make their lives interesting. I mean, those things that bother them to make sure see it like it's nothing, and we bring real life solutions to real life problems. So it's your girl Abiola E with the energy, and we're promising you today that it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, and highly educative too. So we implore you all to please join us, share, like, and follow us. There's so much more we have to offer you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you for that introduction. Our beautiful topic for today. Sister Tawa, can you let the beautiful our guests know our topic for today? What is our topic? And what are we gonna be doing today? What are we gonna be talking about today? What are we gonna be
Ooh,
talking about, girl?
we're still talking about relationship, all about relationship. But today we're going to narrow it down to our children. And so our topic today will be the role of parental guidance in instilling moral ethics and values in children. We know that's a very big topic, and it's something that we must really touch every corner just to ensure that everyone is just gets a little bit of information from what we're going to discuss today, and hopefully we're able to apply the knowledge that we get, in helping our children grow into the kind of human we want them to be. Hallelujah.
Yeah,
So
it's
today.
yes, yes. Thank you so much, Stace. Thank you. Sis, just thinking about the topic in general, right? As
Mhm.
a parent, we played a vital role in our children's life. We play a major role in upbringing our children. We set that foundation, right? When it comes to our children's future, parents play a vital role because when a child is born, right, the first person the child see as another human is the mom and the dad. That's the foundation. The first person to see. So that when the child growing up, okay, this is how humans supposed to act, right? This is how I'm a mom, I'm a woman. Okay, the person has my eyes, they have nose, my mouth, they have my body structure. They are a woman. So okay, this is how women supposed to behave. This is how women supposed to act. So everything that a child does, especially when it comes to the particular child, right? When we're talking about the girl see the woman and she said, okay, this is how a woman supposed to act, right? So
Mhm.
the parents played a vital role. We played a major role. So today's topic is not just for the mom, but it's for the dad, it's for the grandmom, it's for the grandparent, it's for everyone that is around that child. The environment in which that child grew up in played a very important role in the upbringing of that child and setting the tone for that child's future. So we're gonna turn over to Sister Tawo, who is gonna start the first subtopic on our major topic.
Thank you so much. So I like to first start from the biblical, aspect, and then, when we read in the book of Psalms 127, we hear that children are a heritage from the Lord. So it's children are very useful. Children are blessings to us as parents. So when you have one, if you are being gifted, something really special, you're being gifted uh, from God. I'll call it favor. And also before that, it says, "Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them." So when we look at the biblical concept of children, for you to have them, it's a blessing. But
Mhm.
there's so many events that can really make that blessing look like you have received the burden, sort of. So
Mhm.
when you children, they're supposed to be some sort of blessing to you from God, to make your life even much more better. So we're looking at the topic today, and I really want to talk about the um, I didn't want to start with the sexual part for children, but yeah, we have to start from somewhere. And then we look at our topic today. One of the questions I put down is, as children, how do you identify predators? Whether you're male or female, how do you identify predators? Um, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be strangers. Just people generally. How do you identify one when you see one that wants to take advantage of you, that wants to just hurt you in any way, emotionally, physically, mentally? How do you recognize the predator? Um, I am hoping that we can come back to this question later, because I mean it builds around a lot of it builds around a lot. So I'm thinking that we can just start. I don't know. We can just start with some other questions. I don't think this feels like
The-
it's too heavy to start up with.
yeah.
Okay,
Sis,
Sister
the
Taiwo.
question the
So
question
Pastor
is
Kroma,
the question is beautiful. How do a young child uh
Pastor Kroma.
yes.
Okay, so the Bible says, "Teach your child the way he should go. When
Mhm.
he or she is grown, it shall not depart from him." So,
Yes.
talking about sex education for children and how to identify predators. In the world we live today, I personally do have never taught my children to body shame themselves. I've
Mm-hmm.
always taught them to appreciate what they have, be
Mm-hmm.
modest, and be decently, in presenting themselves to the public. But having said that, irrespective of how you put yourself out there as a child, if a predator sees you, they see you as being vulnerable. You know,
Yes.
even the things you're not really meaning into, trust me, they've already read meaning into. So, how does a child identify a sex offender, a predator, someone who is after their body, someone who can take advantage of them? Number one, if you see an adult, be it female or male, who wants to be alone with you in uncalled for places, I mean, we should teach our children. Make sure you're not left alone in places where you shouldn't be. Even if it's in places where you should be, you have to be mindful of how they come around you. When you are in an isolated place, make sure you have your phone. Like I always tell my daughter, if my daughter is going to be in a place where we make her uncomfortable, we'll be on video call. Irrespective of whatever I'm doing, I drop it to attend to them first. They always come first, priority in everything I do. And they can tell you for free. You can go on your phone, do a video call, be on the phone with someone. Anyone who has an unclean mind towards a child, once they know that somebody else is watching, either they keep it to themselves, or they exit, or they disappear, or they whatever it is they want to do, they can't do it once they know somebody else is watching. When you see people trying to entice you, going out of their way to give you things that you do not normally need,
Mm-hmm.
point at you. I mean, that should signal something to you. Like I always tell my children, if anyone offers you anything, it's not because of pride or anything. Appreciate them and say, "Oh, thank you so much. It's beautiful, but I will like to decline." Because that is how they start with even
Mm-hmm.
little things like sweets, biscuits, clothes. You have to be able to. If it doesn't come from like my children, I'm very particular about everything they own. You can't bring anything strange into even when they were little. Their pencils they take to school, I mark the pencils. When my daughter comes back, I go to her bag to check, just to make sure somebody doesn't forget anything in her possession. They are already instilled that in them, from little. They know you can't be in possession of something that doesn't belong to you. Then I have enough time. I create time to talk to them, to counsel them. The things you should listen to from people, the things you should listen to outside, the things you should entertain. I already, set them up, with that realization that, okay, this is how to set boundaries. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what you should do. Then indecent touching, in whatever magnitude, it must never be entertained. Like your breasts, they are very personal. Your private parts, your butt, even your leg, your hands. There's a way somebody will touch your hand that it becomes
Mm-hmm.
indecent. Somebody can shake you, a handshake, very cold handshake without any meaning. But if somebody is trying to rub on your hand, I mean, in a funny way, I gave my daughter that boldness. I tell her, look them in the eye and put them straight. No one has ever tried to talk to misbehave around my daughter because I already I'm not, but I'm sure people look for weaklings. Not because
Yes.
parents are weak, but they
That's
look for
really true.
weakling. They will already say, her mother is she will not go grief for anybody. Oh. So this is Mama Dara's daughter. Oh. This is Dara's mommy's daughter. Oh. So everybody will be on their own guide. You know,
Yes.
because I don't care who you are. Even if I see you trying with another person, I will come for you with everything. I'm telling you, because I mean, you can, from the way I talk, you can already tell I will come for you without mercy. So in the indecent touching is not allowed. Inappropriate touching is not allowed. Their breast is meant to be a personal thing to them. You don't touch, and you do not look at my children anyhow. You know, there's a Yoruba saying that you don't get people offended by looking at them. In my own book, you must not look at my children indecently. I will come for you. I will come for you.
Indecent looking is very.
Wait, my children were, my daughter was about, I think, 4 years old or so. So we went to an office. You know, I think I wanted to order something. So I went into an office back home, somewhere in Africa, in Nigeria precisely. So my daughter was sitting beside me, and a young man my age came in. I told my daughter to excuse so that the man could sit, and my daughter was by my side. You know, I was trying to be ladylike, and the next thing he was gonna a lady you did not. I mean, no, a child you have never met. It was only for me to look away. He was trying to hold and my daughter was already, even before I looked back, she was already saying, "No, don't touch me." You know, as little as no, my daughter. And when I look back, I'm like, "Excuse me." And then he was like, "No, he's only trying." I said, "Don't even repeat what you're saying. You are trying to sit my no. Do you know her? Is she your child?" At that point in time, my voice, my countenance, everything already. If for that kind of gentleman, the fear of what I did, we have him corrected all his life. Even if he sees somebody else's child, he will not try it. A child you don't know, you have never spoken to, you are trying to. No, even if he's a lady, you have to be very careful how you come around my children. Because I will not even take it. You can have predators as a male and a female. I mean, gender has no place in being an offender. I've seen male adult abuse young male children.
Exactly.
So once from home, you already teach them. This is what to watch out for. You instill in them from little. Make sure they have an understanding that the world out there is not like mommy, is not like daddy. You know, when it goes beyond this point, you need to start watching it. You know, as little as they are. And I always try to ensure that my daughter is very soft. She's not as, strong spoken as me. But when she's driving home her point, even me, so I'll be like, really? She can drive home her point. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm talking. Do you get?
Yes.
Yeah,
So, I think so. How are you coming in?
Yeah, I'm coming. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I like the angle at which she's answering the question from back home. Some point you agree with me that growing up, they are trying to tell you, oh, be respectful of older people, don't talk carelessly to some people. You have to be very obedient. That way they take away your boldness, sort of, because now you're being taught to always, just calm down when someone is trying, when an elderly person is telling you what to do. And children have been victim of these older adults that you see them as, let's say, uncles. I was just with someone. I said they are uncles that are thieves. They are not related to you by blood. They are not related to you by anything. But because when you look at people back home, you say, oh, this is my mommy, this is my daddy, this is my uncle, and they're not even related by anything whatsoever. And so some children have paid the sacrifice with their bodies because, you have parents that would not even want to sit down and talk to you about this thing and tell you that, oh, when you see this person, don't even go close to that person. When this person sees you, just, so it has been like a thing from, I can't say a to maybe from the Nigerian culture, sort of, that when elders are talking, you have to always accept, except you have, okay, someone like Sister Biola, that is fire for fire, that will not take nonsense, And a lot of parents, we still have parents, because I was talking to a friend of mine, she was telling me something about her mom, and she kept saying, oh, my mom was just fire, she will not allow this one to happen. So except you have parents that are really, 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 really deliberate about ensuring that, ensuring the safety of children, especially female children. Now it's even worse now. You have male children that are being abused. Just crazy people out there. Male children. So it's not even female anymore. It's male and female. But we have adults there that are really, really insane, doing a lot of narcissism. So it is very important. Again, what I picked from the answer is communication is very important with your children. You have to communicate with them often. You have to let them know how to identify someone that is trying to take advantage of them, someone that is not there for for their own good. You have to teach them boundaries. Don't touch me. This is how you don't sit down on a guy's leg, or I mean, male or female now, sit down on anybody's leg. Can you just sit down by yourself? When you and then you have to be alert. When you look at social media videos, you watch some videos online, you see some predators following little children from school. When they are coming from school as well, you need to tell them where to go and where not to go. How to identify if someone is trying to not just harass them sexually, sometimes just kidnap them and do other nasty things to them. So they should recognize unsafe behaviors from people. This person doesn't mean well for me. And then again, from what you said, I realized that not only that they should recognize uh, predators, they should also identify. We have to educate them so that they can identify dangerous situations as well, so they don't walk into it. And as we go on, I'm sure we'll be able to expand more on this. Louisa?
Yes,
So
you know,
let me tell us a
just
story. Before Pastor Louisa, let me tell us a story. So I was in this gathering one day, and I saw a young girl, maybe a young girl of about 13, 14. And there was this older guy that was like 40 something, trying to get fresh with the girl. You know what I did? I walked up to the man and I was like, excuse me, are you related to her? The man said no. I asked the little girl, is he related to you? The girl said no. I asked him, I said, is she your age mate? Are you people in the same age? I said, why are you trying to talk? He said, I'm just trying to be funny with her. I said, excuse me. Look around here and look for people who are your age group. Are you in the same age bracket with her? That what kind of joke or play does an old man want to be playing with it? I mean, I couldn't find because the girl's mother was not there. I happen to know the girl's mother. I know the girl's mother. I knew they were not related. But how can an adult, that is how it starts. No, let's reason together. An adult trying to say he's cracking a joke with a girl of 13.
13-year-old
She's not
girl.
related to you. She's not your niece. I mean, you know, I am like, no, this is not totally unacceptable. The man was so ashamed of himself. I made sure the girl sat beside me all through that program. My one eye was here and the other eye throughout the program.
so yeah,
Like,
yeah, I was.
what's going on here? It's not under my watch, even though she's not my child, but you won't do this. You
Things
know,
like
be your neighbor's
It's
keeper, even as adults. That girl, anytime she sees something like that, she will identify. And anywhere she sees me, she will always remember.
either.
Not to allow, I mean, oh,
you have
this
that's
is,
something really
So
valuable.
yeah. So the thing is, it comes down to parent educating the kids. It comes down to us educating our children. Do not be shied away from this thing because it has happened for many of us from back home. We have seen it where people visitors coming home and they always want to set this little girl on their lap. They want to
right.
set this child on their lap. And because the thing is, I tell people, human, we are not like a bottle. You cannot see the person's intention. And I tell my husband all the time, I said, you don't know what a person is doing behind closed door. What
Mhm.
they what their fetish are, what they are like sexual appetite is. You don't know.
Yes.
But in Africa, we were so naive to this behavior.
Yes.
Uncle come at the house and you sit on uncle lap. You don't know the enjoyment you are giving to uncle by sitting on uncle lap. You don't know that enjoyment. So uncle want to come at the house all the time because why? He want to come and get that enjoyment. People mind is crazy, not because they are relative, means that your daughter should sit on anyone's lap. Your kids is about to go out there in the world. They are about to go to school. They are about to mingle around other kids. Educate the children. Do not sit on the teacher lap. Do not sit on anyone's lap. Do not sit, even your male friends at school. Do not sit on anyone lot. Like Sister Biera said, like Sister Tawa said, if someone is touching your breast area, that's a no-no. No one should touch you inappropriate. If
Yeah.
someone is rubbing on your inner thigh, it's a no-no. Do not allow no one to touch you inappropriately. Tell the person no. Scream. Scream over your lung. If you are in a closed environment, scream. Walk away. Get up and leave that setting. Get up and go to where people are. Do not be in a closed environment with an older person. Even it could be some little kids in your age. Kids, we'll talk about parent influence on kids later on down the line. If you see a little boy is touching you inappropriate, go tell the teacher. The teacher doesn't do anything, go tell the principal. If the principal doesn't do anything, come home, talk to your parent about it. This boy in the class, he always touching me inappropriate. He's doing this, he's doing it. And let your parent take it. A parent, listen to your kid. When your kid come home and they tell you that a child or teacher is touching the inappropriate, go see the school. Don't say, oh, my child like to lie. Oh, my child, they're making this story up. Go and see the teacher. Take the complaint. Investigate. Talk to your child. How it make the child feel when that person touched them in that way. Talk to your children. Thank you so much. And we're going to move to the next question, Sister Tower.
Sorry,
Pastor
before
Kuma, can I just buttress your
you
point
say
before you
something,
go to the next one?
Yes.
So these predators, right? They
Mhm.
like to look for children who are very, very lonely. They are like their target. They look for people who are lonely, who need that companionship, who need
Mhm.
love, who need people around them. So as parents, let us make sure we give the children enough love before they leave the house. And
Yes.
two, there is no school.
Yes.
Check me out, investigate me from my children's kindergarten to even their university here when my daughter finished from school. There is no school they have been to that they do not know me as their mother. I will go there. If I'm coming back from work, I have enough time to go. I can call off work and say I am going with them for the meeting. I identify with my children. And when you even see me say, the way my voice is enough to intimidate any predator. They'll be like, do not go near this one, because I will so much make a lot of noise. I'm not going to keep quiet. Identify with your children as parents. Make sure you have enough time for them. Be there for them when they talk, like Pastor Kuma said. Listen. Even if a child is making up story, they don't just start. There must be something, starting the fire for them to make it up. Investigate. Get down to the
Invest-
bottom of the thing. Don't shut
Yes.
them up. Make sure you are listening. Is very, very important. Thank you.
Sister Tower.
yeah, I just wanted to add, and you can also teach them signs and signals. While you're growing up, or while we were growing up, if someone should stroke you here, that meant something, right? Back in the
Ah,
day.
madam,
If someone
you know they want to
actually wants to attack you, so when
they
someone
want to
strokes
activate.
you, that something is off somewhere. So these are the things like that. We can also, tell the children that, if someone is trying to get at you, just know that, okay, this sign is very valid for a predator. Anyone that is coming for you, know that they can also do things like that. And we should also be mindful of cousins and mommy and daddy play. Sister Biola, I don't know if you can relate with that. Mommy
Yes,
and daddy.
now
Mommy
when
and
we
daddy
were
play.
little.
Now what for that one though? But also, sis, not just the little girls. I know we emphasizing on girls, but let us also emphasize on little boys.
Boys,
Please, if
yeah.
you have a son and another child is giving that child or too much compliments, we are in a world where I'm sorry to say, but people are teaching our children to a man can like another man. It's okay. People are teaching their children also the lifestyle. Please, if you have a little boy, please educate your son. If a little child is in a school or in a community that is always giving that child a compliment, want to be too close to that child, investigate. We have to be our children detect, investigate. If someone want to call you crazy, let them call you a crazy parent. But at the end of the day, you know that your child is well, your child is okay. Someone in the neighborhood, someone in the community is not going to take advantage of that little boy. Please, little boys get raped too. Just as little girls get raped, little
Exactly.
boys get taken advantage of. The children about to be out there in the community. They got to walk to the bus stop early in the morning. They got to walk to the bus stop. They got to go stand over there. You do not know who's in the community. You don't know who that predator, where they are. They lugging around to see if that child is by themselves. Teach that child. If that gentleman is always coming to the bus stop with a bag of candy, telling him he's so cute, wanna walk with him, tell your parent, teach the child. Open communication. Let us talk to our children. Let us get in the habit of talking to our children. How was your day? How was the bus stop? Who was at the bus stop? Ask questions and open that road of communication with your children. Because if you do not do it, someone out there. Before we go to our next topic, I watched a movie. This little boy went to go spend time with his dad and his stepmom, right? The stepmom did not want the little boy. She abused that little boy. She verbally abused him. And when she stayed home, she told the little boy because he was afraid of the dark. He was afraid of seeing things in the dark, right? So she told him, when you go home and you tell your mom anything, the spirit gonna come from the dark to you. So he came home for weeks. He did not eat. He didn't sleep at night. He would sleep all day and try to stay up during the night. His mom had to forcefully open the conversation and he was able to tell his mom. These are things that happen in our present day. Children are being abused every single day by friends, by family, people they call uncle, auntie, niece, whatever the case. Open communication with your children. Sister Tower, next
Yeah.
question, please.
And also the social media too. I would say watch what your children, what they do on their phones, because the devil, like the Bible says, is is like a roaring lion looking for whom to devour. So there are so many contents that they just chip in a little, where the kids just get exposed to it, and then it just goes off. Over time, if these contents keep coming, it just sits with them. So we have to also watch what they listen to, the kind of songs, the kind of cartoon. Like my daughter was telling me, don't watch so this thing, because I was paying it for my 1 year old. She said no, that they introduced something that I really don't want to elaborate on that. They introduced something that is not good for her. So we have to be mindful, also teach our children not to watch things that are not healthy for them. Yeah, I think we've really touched most of the questions. We're going to talk about understanding your body and creating boundaries. I'm sure we really touch on that, as we see that our time is fast spent. So we'll just give room for other questions. And
Yeah, next on the agenda will be Sister Bilra on the analysis of our discussion.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So, I will say the role of parenting and instilling moral in our children. So, I'm going to address it from the angle of teaching them value by praising them. So, when our children do things that are worthy of praising, some parents are not in that school of thought. They believe when you praise children, it gets into their head, they start misbehaving. But no, I'm talking from a trusted perspective now. When you praise them when they do good things, it helps them to even do better. So for my kids now, when they were little, when they hardly even lie, because when they tell me the truth, they get treats. But when you try to cover up anything, there's going to be a lot of problems. So they find it easier for them when they come out, real. When they come out saying this, and you find my son being very saying his mind. You find my daughter, even though she picks her word, you find her telling you her mind, and you'll be wondering why is she? Because some people see it as confrontational. Some people cannot stand you being bold You know,
Mhm.
so that's the way they see it. They try to shut you. But how do these children come out well if you haven't instilled that thing in them for them to be true to themselves? You know, by praising them when they do good things. I praise my children. I praise other children. I give them treats when when they do things that are right, like a child dressing themselves up for school, doing things on time, doing things the right way. I praise them. I'll be like, wow. I even my kids, I will give them a call. How is your day? This is what I did. This is what I'll be like. You are doing well. You are doing great. This you are in a learning curve. It's your learning curve. You are still very young. Some people don't even get it right until they are older and older. So you are doing fantastic. Just keep at this line. Continue to do it this way. And you will find out that little by little they start to learn. Little by little, they start to inculcate those principles, those values you are putting, instilling into them. They start to put it to practice it, and before you know it, it becomes a part of them already. But that's the way I see it. When you have a child, learn to praise them. When they do the right thing, learn to praise them. When they are walking the right way, learn to walk the journey of life with them by, applauding them, appreciating their wins, those good things they do.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the way I
true.
see it. Thank you,
It's really
everyone.
true. Sister Pierre, you're right. I feel for me, I feel it's fair because when a child does wrong, we score that child, right? When a child
Right.
does something that is not right, we want to score that child.
Um,
I feel it's right when a child does something positive, you also applaud that child for the positivity as much as you correct the child when the child does something wrong. Okay, Lorenzo, you're supposed to do this. You didn't do it. That was wrong. You scored the child. Now, if Lorenzo does something, wake up, right? So when I came from work and surprisingly my son cleaned my room, I was like, wow, thank you so much. The room is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And I believe that it encouraged them to do more. And it balanced the equation that okay, when I do wrong, mom gonna score me, right? But when I
right.
also try my best and do the right thing, she's gonna applaud me. So it
Right.
balances the equation, right? But if
Right.
you always just score the child and don't applaud the child, it's like okay, my mom wouldn't know how to yell at me. My mom wouldn't know how to scream at me. You are building that vulnerability in a child mind too. And that child's gonna grow up having that mindset that okay, a parent who's not supposed to scream at the child. A
Right.
parent who's not supposed to scream and scream and scream. That's it. A parent not supposed to laugh with the child. A parent not supposed to say thank you to the child.
Ciao.
You building a mindset that is really, really wrong. Wow.
I'll just quickly add that when we appreciate or
Oh my
when we
God.
appreciate for doing something right, it's something that goes a long way. Now the truth is, at some point, maybe I can say maybe back in the days, some people or maybe some parents felt like, just because of the idea behind tradition, this is how it is done, this is how, sometimes you don't want to come out and appreciate the children. You just feel like if I tell them that they've done this thing right, they will just start to behave somehow, and I don't want that to happen. The truth is, children are a blessing, like I said. When you spread the rod, you spoil out. It does not mean that you cannot appreciate your children. It's like you're buying a new car. Children are a blessing. So how would you treat the blessing that God gives you? It's like when you buy a new car, cha-cha, you can
Yeah.
imagine when a man buys a new car. You know how to pamper that car. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend. That's my husband's baby there. Because that car brings that person so much joy. We add to the status of that person. That person is living the life and all of that. So they say, oh, don't talk about that. That's daddy's car. That's this, that's that. Children are much more than that. They are a blessing. So when they do something right, then you should make sure that you commend them. You tell them, oh, what you have done last week, I'm super impressed with you, and I hope that you can keep it up. because if you keep it up, you just look at the results before then. If you do it right, this is the result you get. And sometimes you use yourself, put yourself in their shoes. You say, okay, what if, I mean, sometimes I really wish that, okay, I get, back in the day, okay, I can tell you a very brief story about myself. I have an older sister, very firm, very strict. I think she's one of the people that made me not love math, right? I was trying my best, but this math was not trying its best with me. We were not understanding each other. And she's very smart when it comes to anything science, and she's super smart. And God, if you miss one person, you're done for. But you know that she takes a different approach. Maybe today, I was like, what's the big deal about math anyway? So much of a big deal. Why did it take me forever to even learn the simple equation, while she was teaching me? If I had something like, oh, don't worry, you can do better. I see that I arrive at the answer, but she wants to see the step. But me, right now, I think finish teaching. She wants to see the step. Provide the step because what I saw that I don't know how to replicate it. So, but if I hear something like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Something like, don't worry, you're doing well, you're doing good, but it goes a long way when we tell our children that they've done well, that even though it doesn't look like what they want, like the result that they're expecting, they can do better. You cite examples. Oh, this person tried to create the light bulb and they tried 1,000 times before they even got it right. You just cite examples. You do all of those things so that you build their confidence. Um, you build their confidence and then you just encourage them. It just makes them do more. It do my kid. If I tell Ewa, you have done this, you need to see the excitement on her face. She just runs
Mm-hmm.
around. Don't worry, I'll do better this time. And then she'll come back the next day and give you another strategy to getting a different result. You said, do you know I even tried it this way and it worked this way? And even you as a mother, you are excited, you are happy. Then
Mm-hmm.
even when daddies to get involved like that, you commend your children, it just makes everything work easy. And I just really wanted to add that. And I'll take a break because of my baby.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you, Sister Taiwo. Thank you, Pastor Koma. So I also have something I would like to add tonight. Pastor Koma, I'm not sure if you've heard this thing. A lot of parents, they always say their children are not their friends. I'm not sure if you are in that school of thought, but I am in a different school of thought. I say my children are my best friends. I am their mother. I am their mentor. I am their corrector. I am their first teacher, because I teach them. Do you get? Because when parents say their children are not their friends, they look for that best friend in somebody else. That is
mm-hmm.
where the whole thing, the problem starts from. When you allow your child to go have that best friend in somebody else, when you should be that best friend, the first one they have. So any other one is an addition. So if they have anything they want to discuss, you'll be the first person to know, not the other people. Do you get what I'm saying? But a lot
Yes,
of people say, my child is not my best friend.
you are
So
right
for
though.
me, I don't
Sis, you are
agree.
right, you are true. You know what, sis, they're concerned and talking about that. It's a lot in a African community setting. We feel that when we draw our children close to us, they become disrespectful. But you can still build a boundary. You can still
Right.
be that mother,
Mm-hmm.
but also still love your kids. Play with
Mm-hmm.
your kids. A lot of times I sat down one time, Sister Vera, and I thought about this. I said, when a kid turned 18,
Mm-hmm.
they are ready to run. They want to go. They want
Right.
to go. They want to go away from the parent. They want to go.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to ask myself and ask the Holy Spirit, what does kids when we get to that age, right? We
Mm-hmm.
want to go out there. We just want to go. We want to go far away from our parent. And
Yeah.
I begin to think about myself when I was young, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, one, you cannot express yourself in an African home,
Mm-hmm.
right? You cannot
Right.
express yourself. So you have all this pain inside of you. You have all these questions inside of you. You have all these things you want to go experience because while they're not talking to you, they won't sit down and have the conversation with you. So you just want to go out there and experience this thing. You want to go out there and talk. You just want to talk because in Africa you can't talk. It's like
Right.
you just silent. You cannot talk back home. You cannot tell your mom, okay, I like this boy. Now I have a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And someone know my 9-year-old has mouth. He has a brain like a 95.9-year-old person. You know, he said that Isaac will express himself. Isaac will tell you his mind. He will tell you his mind. He will tell you his feelings. Right? Now, sometimes I will tell them, I said, let's say if you are in Africa, you be dead. they, they will beat they will beat the dead like out of you. They will beat the living life out of you. You know, but we want to install ethic. We want to install moral in our children. We gotta start parent. We gotta start from home, teaching them from home, teaching them how to talk. Because if we don't teach them, the world will teach them.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Social media then.
Social media will teach your child.
Yes.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people, they take the children to church on Sunday. The
Mhm.
child sit in the church on Sunday, but that child is full with so much question. She cannot ask mommy and daddy. She
Mhm.
go home, she cannot talk in the house. They're not comfortable to talk. Your children should be your best friend.
Right.
They should be your friend. They should be able to come and talk to you about anything, even though if that thing is burning your ear. Let me tell you, my boys have said some things to me, man, it be burning my ear. You know that it's so hard to it's burning your ear. But the truth of the fact that let them come and talk to you. Let them be able to talk to you. The good, the bad, the
The
ugly,
ugly.
whatever that situation and whatever they are going through, let those children be able to come and talk to you. It's very important for you to build that in them. So if they treated somebody bad out there, right? They will come, Mom, I did this. How am I supposed to do it? How do I do this? So you will be able to correct them. But if they cannot talk to you, they will talk to somebody on the internet.
Right.
They will
Yes.
talk to somebody in the community. And
Yes.
those people that they are talking to, you do not know their intention.
Mhm.
You do not know their mindset. So
Mhm.
let us open the flow of talking. Talk to your children. Sister Biera, our next question on the
So
agenda.
my next question is instilling value in our children by making sure that their opinions, their voice, that it counts, their ideas. Let us make sure that it counts. While growing up, my house was so different from so many people that I go to their homes. When I go to my friend's home, you can see their parents. Sometimes they'll be like, ah, is it because she's from this kind of family that they can openly express themselves like this? Because they believe that you have to be, close up. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't be able to express yourself. But here I am when I get to other people's home. I'm freely talking because my dad, growing up, we sit everybody down and ask you. You must have something to say. My daddy will say no. He won't go to the next person except you say what you have to say. You must say something. You have to say so. You must have an opinion. You must
Mhm,
know what's in your mind. My daddy will say, Kilo wa loko e gogo in Yoruba, that what is in your mind? What
mhm,
what do you have in mind? Say it, let me know. If it is right, I will correct you. If it is right, I will praise you. If it is wrong, we can talk about it. You must be able to say it, express yourself. I, as a child, a lot of people might see that thing as being confrontational. They
mhm,
see it as challenging them because I had so many issues when I got to work. When I started to work, growing up, I've always been allowed to freely express myself. But I found out that even in the world today, people don't want you to have a voice. They don't want you to be able to express yourself. They don't want you to say what you have in mind. But as a child, you instill that confidence in them. You make them have a sense of self. They have a
mhm,
sense of value. If they can freely, express themselves, how they feel, what they feel, you even help their brain to develop when you give them a chance to hear their views and opinion. So that's why I always say my kind of parenting is a little different, from so many people, because my idea, some people say, Biola is millennium momo, Biola is the 2000 momo. But hey, that 2000 mom allows me to know the mind of my children. I can be here and tell you, even if I don't get it 100%, I am very close to mark what they are thinking, how they are thinking, what they can do, what they cannot do. My
It's
daughter got a
important.
job somewhere in McDonald's some times ago, and something happened at her place of work. You know, as a child, she wanted to start, crying, feeling. I got up, I'm like, excuse me, what's going to, what? Do I called the manager immediately and put them to order? Do not, do
Mommy,
not,
Pepper, don't try am o.
you say, no try am, oh. And that's why I tell the man, I said, no try am. And they said that I was not joking, no. I know they play that when it gets to that part, I will not play. In fact, you will see me in a different perspective. I kid you not. That is why even that one alone gives my children the confidence to confidently say, if
My
nobody
back.
supports me, I tell them I am your greatest supporter, your greatest advocate, your greatest critic. Look behind you, you will see me. For as long as I'm still standing on this mother earth, I am behind you. Yeah. Let us but
It's
you
Sister
said
But
Bioma, you are right. The
one
voice,
of the things that contribute to all of these things is
uh,
when you, I mean, back home is really different back home, because when you
yes.
try to compare children in the Western world to
Mhm.
children back home, it's quite
Yes.
different. You have freedom, you have all everything you need, you can speak, you can do anything you want. But back home, no,
Yeah.
you can't. It has been the trend from ages past. It has been the trend. So the person that is supposed to teach you this value went through the same. So it has become a way of life, thinking that that is how it's supposed to be. But as you grow and get exposed with the help of technology, social media, we're able to see things happening around the world, see that, oh, if you try this way, because you see that you keep doing the same thing every time, you don't get a different result. You're like, okay, let me try
yeah,
something else with the children and let's see how this works. And then you're trying it. You're like, so this information has been available since, how come people did not use it? They didn't use it to help children, to help them. It just builds confidence when my mother, my father
Yes.
is certainly behind me. I
Yes.
can go there, I can do and undo because I know that someone has got my back. That's the
Yes.
confidence you feel in your children. You
it's
tell them that, don't worry, just keep doing whatever you can do. As long as you are morally upright, as
Right.
long as you know your value is intact, as long
Yeah.
as everything you are doing, it just speaks modesty and all of that, you know that you can do whatever you want to do, knowing that there's a backup for you. So yeah, and
Right.
that's how it is with parents, with God, and everything. So
Mhm.
I think we have to
you
keep
know,
that
you
in.
know, you know something, sis, right?
Mhm.
If you are on that broadcast and you are in Africa right now, get out of that mindset of your children, because a lot of kids are being raped back home.
Yeah.
A lot of
Every
kids
day.
are being
Every
molested
day.
back home every single day. If you are on this broadcast, you will watch the broadcast in the future. Get out of that mindset. Talk to your kids.
But
Yes.
Get
it's
out of that place.
a man's world. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, it's not a man word. It's everybody word. It's everybody word. Talk to your kids. Talk to your little girls about these things. Talk to her about people. Talk to her about the people she coming around. The people. Educate your child.
Mhm.
It's very important. We might be standing here and just having a chit chat talk, but I want somebody to this thing to enter somebody's skull. Africa, this thing enter your skull.
Right.
Your daughter might be have been raped. You don't even know. Somebody
Yes.
might be touching your daughter at this very moment because you have that mentality that they are a child. They should stay in a child place. You have built that place where they cannot talk to you. They should fear you. A child should respect the parent, but a child should not fear the parent. Because when the child fear the parent, they're not gonna talk to you. Even they can be raped, then somebody can beat them and hurt them. They will not come to you and talk to you.
Okay.
And you are building up. We're gonna look at it at the end of the broadcast. We're gonna look at a statistic when it comes to mental problems. All these things cause mental issues in our children.
Children.
If
Right.
you do a child that a child that loves his or herself, if you teach that child to love his or herself, she will not disrespect people out there. I tell my son, I said, if you don't want to be cussed out, don't cuss anybody out.
Right. Mhm.
If you don't want to be disrespected, you can only control what you can do. You cannot
Mhm.
control what the next person will do. But
Right.
you be accountable of the things that
You
you
do.
do. Make
Yes.
sure that you are
Mhm.
not the one disrespecting someone. Make sure that you are not the one talking to someone anyhow, anyway. Make sure you are not the one. And if someone take upon themselves to speak to you in a manner that is degrading, go to this, run to the teacher, talk to the teacher, and when you come home, let me know, and I will be right there in our principal office having a conversation with the teacher. Let us teach our children. Talk to your children about this thing. Let Sister Biera say, let Sister Tawa say, let us educate our children. Be
Children.
open with your children. Talk to them about things. So when they see it, they are aware of it. So when they see it, they will know, okay, my mom taught me this. My mom said, Uncle, why they will question why Uncle want me to sit on their lap all the time? Why when Uncle holding me, when Uncle gives me the hug, Uncle will begin to hug me in this kind of manner? Why Uncle keep squeezing me to his body? Why Uncle want my butt? They will begin to question all this negativity, these things that is happening to them. You might not be there to witness it, but in their mind, they will begin to question them. Then their conversation will start. Mom, I think I'm expressing it. Talk to your children. Become friends with your children. Next on their
I have two stories to back up what we're saying. So I have this boy I met when I was in the university, right?
mm,
Do you know this boy told me that at the age of 10, he was already sleeping with the nanny in the house,
mm,
and the mother never knew. If that boy has been educated and the mother already told him, do not let nobody touch you in this part. You know, like he was just a little boy. The older lady already enticed the boy, and
mm-hmm.
maybe at that point in time, the boy was already enjoying what he was doing. He didn't even feel like he needed to tell the
Ah,
mother all about it. You know, he was never able to
Enjoyment
share that
don't
story.
enter.
You know, he was never able to share that story with anyone until he got to the university. And one day he just said, "Can I tell you something? Do you know at the age of 10, I was already sleeping with the nanny in the house." Can you beat
Wow.
that? That is what we are saying. Be your child's friend. Then the second one, I have a girl that we went to the same primary school. That's elementary school, right? So when we went into when we went into high school, I mean middle school, I everybody moved to different schools. So when she moved to a different school, her parents left the location where they were to because her father worked for the federal government. He got transferred out of state. So the parents put her to stay with her uncle.
Mm.
Hear the
uncle.
word, her uncle. Do you know this girl said she ran out in the middle of the night and slept. Her parents were living in Ikoyi. At that time before her parents traveled, she said she slept inside the store in the market because she ran out so that the uncle could not rape her. Can you beat that?
Wow.
Can you beat that? And she never even got to tell the mother until later in life because all these mothers said they put fear in us. We see
Push
them as monsters. We see them as
Yeah.
demigods. They are not
down. It's
accessible.
always an
We
out.
cannot even talk to them. You
Exactly.
know what is that?
It's always the child that is at fault. It's always the child because
It's
they
always a child, but then again, we build angry children. Those children are angry, they are frustrated because they have all those things in their mind,
Bottle in them.
yes,
Yeah.
they put it
yes,
in them, so they're going out there in the world and they're releasing those
Yeah. They start to
behaviors
misbehave.
in the
Yes.
world. Some of them might become, some of them might say, you know what, my uncle raped me so much, this other person raped me, my family made me rape me, now I
Yeah.
want to be a woman. Sometimes all the things contribute to other people, to people behavior in the adulthood because the trauma, childhood
Of
trauma
childhood
is
trauma.
real.
Yes. Yes.
Childhood trauma is real. Do not think because that child is a child that they
Mhm.
don't go through stuff. You understand?
They
Remember
they go
few
through
years
so
ago,
much.
Yes, when my son had an accident, my husband and I, we were very afraid. He had a major surgery. We kept asking each other, babe, he's not showing no sign, he's not talking about it. But we felt to realize at that age he was so young, right? He was young when he had the surgery. Now, fast forward in his other year, that conversation began to come out. I said in a house that conversation with him, how he felt about that surgery, what it make him feel, and this and that. So you have to talk to your child because these things, this thing bother in the child, and the child having all those things in their mind, and they go to the school and they become abuser. They go to the school because they're frustrated. They are frustrated, they are angry, they cannot talk to nobody. They're like prisoner in their own father and mother house. They just did. Your child should not be prisoner. Feel like they just did. They should feel loved. They should feel part of the house. They should feel that okay, I'm a blessing, like Sister Tawo said. So
Right.
communicate with the children. Jesus, me, I love the Jesus with my boys. I'm the boys' mom. God blessed me with so many goddaughter, but the boys, it's like anywhere I go, the boys they just attached. The boys, anywhere I go, boys. So I get the G's from the boys. I'm waiting for Ewa and Tiwa Ogoluwa so they can start G's to me from the
I
girls
know
side.
you're going to really enjoy them gisting. That came to mind while
I'm
we're
waiting for
talking.
my godchildren to G's me. But right now I'm getting G's from the boys. You will learn a lot from the kids. You will learn a lot from your children. Talk to your children. Sister Bira, where we at?
Sorry, can you hear me? I was trying to make
Yeah,
a
we
point.
can
Can
hear
you?
you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
So I wanted to say that how do you comfort a child that was repeatedly abused by her father? Now
Woo!
that's another topic that
Woo! I
that's
even got,
another
I got hurt. Madam, well, how I don't do? I don't take a shoe for the father. Hey,
like,
Madam, don't take
like
them.
issues like
You see
that.
these shoes? You see these shoes? I don't take her shoes.
As it sounds, their
So,
daughter
so, 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 Sister
that they
Taiwo,
look like the father is the abuser and they just don't know what to do. And then they have a mother that is not willing to accept that her husband can have abused their child. And they're not
Madam, you
like
don't make me catch.
the child becomes the victim. The child becomes the prodigal daughter or whether boy was or it becomes the prodigal child because that child is trying to tell you, communicate with you, trying to tell you that this thing has happened.
Hmm.
How do you know? How on earth do you know?
Let me say something. I know Sister Bira coming in. Let me say something quick.
Okay.
Some women, many times, some women, we are so jealous that we will be jealous of our own child. Okay, my daughter is beautiful, so maybe my daughter is attracting. Is my daughter the one that how what the English word? My the way she
she's
act in the house.
enticing the man.
Yes,
She's
you know
enticing the man.
the one that the way my daughter dressed in the house, and this thing happened mostly when it comes to stepmom and stepfather. Stepfather, so it happened mostly with stepfather. Let me talk when it comes to stepfather and the daughter, because the mother will always say, "Okay, my daughter is beautiful, she's young, so she attracted my husband. She want to take my husband." Sis, if
They try,
I
but
want my daughter tell me that, be it her biological father, be it her biological father or stepfather, Wahala don't they? Because what I'm going to investigate to the core. I'm going to talk to my daughter. I'm going to set her down. I'm going to talk to her about it. And if it proven to be true, Wahala don't dare though. I'm taking it to the Lord. The Lord is going to prosecute. I don't care if it's the biological father, because at the end of the day, that girl is stigmatized. That girl is hurt for life.
mhm,
Now she's never going to trust another man in her life. Now every other man that will come in her life, they will be paying for what her father or stepfather has done. So it's not something you joke about.
exactly. You're
It's
right.
not something you played about. Draw
So,
that
so
child to you. Talk to her. Some kids, we understand kids do lie, but talk to that child. Investigate. Put on
Right.
your investigation gear and investigate the matter. And if it's true, if it causes you to set secret camera in the house to investigate, put secret camera in the house, investigate. Investigate conversation. Let her record conversation. Investigate. Because that child is ruined. It takes the grace of God for that feelings to lead that child. Sister Bira, to get that, this topic is hard too.
yes, but of course, except I always make sure that I'm an advocate for children because I see them as being vulnerable. Their minds are not formed. So whoever abuses a child or takes advantage of a child, even if the child walks naked before you, if you come before me, I, Abiola, you are the one at fault. No matter the circumstance or situation, the adult is the one at fault. I can never fault any child.
And you
I
can
will,
also
That child just being a child.
I will never fault any child. And I always say it, as an adult, take a critical look at the situation. If it's never going to matter in 5 years, then it probably should never matter to you at all. What enjoyment do you want to enjoy in a child that will make you so depressed enough, so insane to want to take advantage of a child? As an adult, from my perspective, irrespective of what, even if the child lies naked right before you, you are the one at fault. See, let me tell us all a story. I lost my mom. I was barely 1987, when my mom passed. My dad raised me and my siblings. When I was little, my father would never enter my room without knocking. I have never seen a day either my dad starts to scream my name from the door, or when he gets to my door, my dad will never open my door without, he will knock and get me out. I'm not trying to say he's better than all fathers. I'm just trying to tell you how my father raised himself before me and how he raised me. My dad will never come into my room. So he already drew that line for me to give him the utmost respect, because respect is reciprocal. He respected himself, and my dad conducts himself so well before himself, before God, and before me. So I mean, I don't even know what the world is turning into. How can you look at a child? The next thing you're looking at is how to abuse. I mean, by the time people do that to children, see, when you say someone is your child, it does not necessarily have to be your biological child. A child to you can be your adopted child. A child to you can be your neighbor's child. Because growing up in somewhere in Nigeria, Africa, for me, one family gives birth to a child, the whole community raises that child.
Yeah.
That was how I was raised.
But that was also a problem at some point.
You said?
That's one of the major problems. That's
Yes,
why
today you cannot say anything about somebody else's child. If I walk down my street and I talk to two boys before I get home, my daddy already knows that I spoke with two boys on the way. Not telephone that time. There's telephone, but not all this GSM. And the way information goes about that time
was very firm and very fast.
you know,
They hear this information so fast.
my dad would be like, I heard, what happened? We were our neighbor's watch. Everybody was everybody's keeper. If we can go back to that time where everyone is your neighbor's keeper, you're watching out for the next person. See,
That was problem too. Neighbor keeper. I'm like, those days, right? The honest truth is that even those days, when everyone was everyone parent, it was problem because while our kids, we were going into everybody's house, everybody daddy was the daddy, and it became issue. It
Yes.
goes down to talk, talk, talk.
Talk.
Draw your
Yes.
children close to you. Talk, talk, talk.
Talk.
Exactly.
Teach your children value. We are in the world. Ethic and moral is being thrown out the window.
Window.
It's
Yes.
being thrown out the window. Parent, parent, let us start from home. This discussion that we are discussing today, these three beautiful ladies, including myself, these two beautiful ladies, including myself, we are discussing, we are all mothers. We are
Yes.
all mothers on here on the platform. We are mothers speaking to another mothers out there, fathers
Yes.
out there, grandmother out there, auntie out there. It is never too late to start discussing with your children.
Sure.
If you have never done it before, sit that little girl down today and talk to her about things. Prepare her mind before she get on that school bus. Prepare her mentally. Prepare her. Open her eyes. Do not shy away. Don't say because she's 5 years old, she's 6 years old, so she should just, oh, she don't understand. These kids, they smart. Say some things to them, talk to them. It's very important that we teach our kids. Teach your kids. Sister Biera, do we have any more questions before we go into our last segment?
Any more what comment?
Do we have any more question on what we
Oh,
were just?
yes, I do have one more question. We instill values in our children by showing them affection.
This
Show
one
me
half
a
for African
child.
parents.
Yes, show me
This
a
one-
child who grew up with love, that you want to entice with love outside. They already know the value of love. They know
Mhm.
the cost of love. They know what it means to love them. They know the real, love when they see it. it children who children who lack love, they are the ones the predators go with the most. Also, I want to say this to every mother out there. If you cannot have time for the boys and girls, these children, do not bring them into this world. You do not necessarily have to have a child. Once you know you cannot love them, you cannot cater for them, you cannot show them affection, there is no point bringing them into this world. Thank you.
Lastly, I just want, before we round up quick, I just want to say to the parents out there, please, 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 our behavior at home. We talk about kids being bullied. They become a bully because the parent at home is a bully. And
Right.
you are home and you have that behavior as a bully, you talk anyhow, the foul language. Parents, since have you heard some parents that when they're speaking the F word, the C word, the D word, they speak in that way. I'm not used to that kind of talking. I'm from Africa. I'm not used to talking with foul language coming out of my mouth. I found it to be so offensive. Please watch the words that come out of your mouth to your children, because your children are learning from you. Watch your behavior at home as a parent, because your children are learning from you. I've been saying this. Even the things that we value, the things that we're supposed to value and we're not valuing them, our children pay attention to those things. Our children devalue our when it time to, let's say, when it's time to go to church, when it's time for meeting, all these things, our children are devaluing time, because we African parents as whole, we don't value time. We don't value things. We say it, but we don't rather put emphasis of value on things. If you say that to the kids, respect, put value to that respect. Show respect. It go both way. Show love. Honor that love. Talk to your child with respect. So in order, when they go out there tomorrow, they in return will give other people respect. Sister Biora, you got 2 minutes to add to that. Since it's a tower, you next.
Yeah, so I would like to tell
Parent
every parent,
behavior.
yeah, I would like to tell every parent tonight that our children learn mostly not from what we teach them, but from what we model as parents.
Mhm.
They take a cue from what they can. Children learn faster from what they see rather than what they hear. The way you comport yourself, the way you address people, the way you give respect, the way you show love, the way you show kindness, your children are learning. Even these people that grow up to become predators, they do not grow up to, they were never born as predators. They learn it. They form their mind from what their visuals are seeing, what they've seen. They form their mind. So we have to make sure that as parents, we are putting the right thing out there. We are putting the right things in their mind, in their eyes, in their sight, in their ears. Make sure they're getting the right education.
Yeah. Sister Tower, parent behavior that affects our children ethic and moral.
Um, I'll just say that parents should ensure that we always, as much as possible, do the right thing. Our children, they mirror everything we do. If you do it right, do it right. If you do it wrong, they do it wrong. Because why? Mommy did it that same way. Sometimes when I tell Ewa, don't watch TV, I want you to go and do it. She say, but you're watching TV right now. You know, it's how simple their mind is because they relate with what they are seeing. And they're like, if you're telling me not to do this thing, why are you doing? Now they
Mm-hmm.
will explain it to them and tell them, oh, this is this, that is that. I don't want you to do this because of this. I'm doing this because of that. But as much as possible, the little things that we really don't take, we don't attach so much importance to. Those are the little things that are not very heavy. Those are the things that they pick up really fast because they have a very simple mind. So it's easier for those things to, for them to absorb those things easier than trying to give them things that are really comprehensive and all of that. So we must ensure that we model ourselves the way we want our, like they say, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are. So sometimes you can be your mom, but now you can show me your parents, I'll tell you who you are.
Mhm.
If you go to school, if you have, like Ewa, I tell her, you go to school. The things I will not do, I don't expect you to pick a friend that will do such because one, you're going to be disrespected. You do not share the same value. You must watch out for people that you share the same value. That's why it's easy for you. It's easier that way for you to coexist or cohabit with such person. But if you now decide to, do the other thing, it becomes a problem because now you're going to have a lot of conflict of interest. It becomes a problem. It just messes up your mind. So I tell them, do this. Or sometimes she tells me, oh, I want to dress this way. I want to. I say, my dear, I know you are you are growing, but just watch me. You can still dress a certain way and get it right. I say, so those things are just some material things. The way the world will tell you that A is you're supposed to write it in cursive. You might just write it in normal straight line. It does not really matter as long as the message is clear to whoever is reading it. So it's important that we model, we want our children to do the right thing. We should be their role model as much as possible. And I really wanted to add quickly that we should, while we're trying to instill these values in our children, we should role play with them at home. Role play. And tell them, okay, let's assume this is happening to you. How would you react so that you know that truly this thing that you have taught them, they have, now they can put it to use, proper use. So we can role play with them, tell them to also trust their instincts and just know how to conduct themselves. And then most of all, we have to also present them before God at all times. Okay. That way, we secure them under God's wings and then we say, God, take care of these children for me. I've done my part. I need you to help me with them. So I'll just stop there for now.
It's very. I'm gonna read the statistic of mental health, just a quick one. So because our store we bring solution to everyday life issues. A lot of time people don't understand these things. The CDC did a study, and this is the statistic. It said indicator of positive mental health are presented in most children. Reported from 2016 to 2019, positive health, positive health mental were presented in children 2019, but 20 that children mostly or always show affection, the 97%. Then we have 87% positivities. So back then, in the early 2000, right? 2000 to 2016, 17, because parent was, we still had those training, those tough training from back then, right? So the kids, their mental health was good. They said it was good, 97%. We got 87.9% positivities and curiosity, 93%. Then they said 1 in 3 children also have behavior problem. Now, 2024, 1 in 3 children have behavior problem. 1 in 3 children is affected with behavior problem. Why is that? Lack of communication, lack of affection. Like Sister Biora said, she make a statement showing affection, opinion being matter. We need to install those things in our children. Think about our children, mental health. I'm gonna read one more before we run up here. They said, okay. They said for children with behavior problem, more than 1 in 3 also have anxiety. Do we know that children do suffer from anxiety too? Children do suffer from anxiety. 1 in 3 children. That number is too high. It's a high percent of children that is suffering from anxiety and increasing. Back then it was lower, now it's increasing. That number is increasing. And if we as parents, we do not step up with our communication, with our affection, our love, and making time for our children, those number is going to increase. It's going to be 1 in 2 children because the number is increasing. One more, it said it's at about 36.6%. In about 1 to 5 children have depression. 1 in 5 children suffer depression. I know we from back home, a lot of us suffer depression because we couldn't talk. We couldn't express ourselves. we sure did. I'm telling you, we sure did. We couldn't talk. We couldn't express ourselves. So we were depressed. So let us think about our children' mental health. Before I turn the table to the two beautiful ladies, someone said something to me. Why is a lot of African men turn to be so bossy and mean? I said to them, it's because that's the way they were taught. African men should not do anything. African man is the king of the house. The woman does everything. Why African men don't want to do this? It's because the way they were taught. But we are living in a world that I believe happy home consists of what both parents being happy. The mom, the dad, the children, it all make up happy home. Sister Taiwo, do you have something that you would like to say to our viewers before we close this? What
Thank
are
you.
one thing you would like to say to them before we come to our end? What are one thing you wanted to remember from this discussion? What are one thing?
Um, as mothers out there, know that you are still mothers. No other person can do the job better than you. So it is your duty, your responsibility to ensure that your children will be role models. Or I can say role models for other children because of their moral values, the way they conduct themselves. Even as fathers too, it is your responsibility too. It's not just the mothers. It is your responsibility. Like you just said, Lupita, that men being bossy back home, it's the way the men are taught. But I'm telling you right now, men that have migrated to the Western world, they now saw that they were being shortchanged, not having, or maybe their fathers were being shortchanged, not having that kind of relationship that they were supposed to have with the children. Because now the bond now is just you and your family. So you either get it right or get it. So I would say yes, we are responsible as parents. We must not back down. It is our responsibility. Social media cannot do it. The phone cannot do it. It is still our responsibility, and God will help us. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Sister Bill, right? Beef. Is it Sister Bill? Beef, is it beef that beef bring it? I want to hear that name. Introduce yourself one more time. I like the end of it.
The E for energy.
Sister Mira, what is that one thing? What is that one thing you would like to leave with the parent, guardians, whoever that is watching, that they can take from this section?
Yeah, I want every parent to know that even if you have been getting it wrong, there's
Mm-hmm.
still the opportunity to get it right. It's never
Yeah.
too late. You can retract your step back and begin to do the right thing. All these things we put out there, you show them love, teach them morals, ethics, show them love, give them a voice, let them be close to you, be their friend. By the time you start to introduce all those things, these children are our future. They are the future of any and every nation. So it's never too late to start putting it right. Even as adults, everybody needs somebody. If you begin to show them love, even if their ways have gone wrong, they can begin to retract their steps back and get it right. So, one thing I want everyone to know is that it's never too late to begin to show that child love, to begin to correct them, to retract their steps and teach them the right way. So everything will work out well for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for all those that left us your comments, we appreciate all your comments. We appreciate for those that were sharing. We really appreciate you guys so much for supporting FGI Cash Store. Please meet us on our page, or we will have some exciting questions throughout the week that is going to be thrown out there on the page. We just want to hear from you guys. Please comment, give us your insights on those things. Also, if you are watching us and you are going through problem in your marriage, in your home, in the family, and you need a mental and you need a counselor, let us know. Hit us in our inbox. We do have uh, our pastor. He's a licensed mental health counselor. He can help you in any way that we can help you. If you're going through something right now, you need a sister to talk to. Hit us up in our inbox. We are here to be the listening ear. And if you are parenting and you having little hiccup in the road and you just need someone to talk and ask, hit us up in our inbox. We are here to be not just to talk about it, but we are here to bring help and solution to each and every one. Thank you guys so much for being part of FGI Ashtar live broadcast today. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Please, my last word to you guys. Talk, talk, talk. God bless you guys. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Don't change. Be right here. We'll be right here with another beautiful, exciting section. Don't change that seat. Just sit right there and wait for us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Love you guys. Mwah. All
Yes,
right,
of
people.
course.
Bye bye,
Love you all.
beautiful people. Thank
See
you
you in
guys.
2 weeks.
For those on YouTube, we love you guys. YouTuber, we love you guys so much. FJ Cash Talk and everyone else. Thank you guys. Mwah.
Thank you, everyone. We love you.
I love you. Thank
Bye. See you in 2 weeks.
See
And
you
remember,
guys.
don't change the dial.